Hello, this is Alicia Connor here with Quick and Delish, and I just wanted to do an announcement basically for day 28 of our 33 days Self-Care is Our Best Defense Challenge. So because we're sheltering in place here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I hear maybe most of California, I'm not exactly sure what the rules are where in California, but I know where I am in San Francisco, we got another month of sheltering in place until the end of May for sure. And we'll see, things aren't going to just like, the floodgates aren't just going to be open up right immediately. So well, we gotta stay light, right? Light and, keep the spirit light and enjoy what we can, right? And today's share, I guess, is that I got great news that I was interviewed by this magazine called Today's Dietitian, because I'm a dietitian. I was interviewed, and they wrote a really awesome article about me. And I was interviewed, so I was asked specific questions that are specific to me, and that include like about my vision loss and how my approach. And so it's always better. One of the details that I wanted to share about my approach, and I'm going to post the article in the description right here, so please read the article, okay? It'll give you more insight into who I am. So and okay, so as my vision loss continued, like I could drive, and I shared this in just one other video. So I learned how to drive when I could, got my learner's permanent whenever, like the first day you could, that birthday when you're like whatever and a half, I don't know, 15 and a half, 16 and a half, I don't even remember. Feels like a while ago. A couple decades ago, more than a couple decades. So anyway, there's a sense of urgency, learned how to drive, whatever. Didn't even have a car to drive at the time. And I lived in Boston, grew up in Boston, so I didn't need to learn how to drive at that time. But it seemed like, like when you could do whatever you can do, that's what I did. Whenever you graduate to the age you could do X, Y, Z, that's what we do, right? Many of us. So when I learned my vision was going to decline over time, I decided that it would be better to give up my driver's license before having it get taken away from me. So instead of like having somebody test my vision and be like, vision isn't good enough to drive, you're gonna have to, whatever, tear, scissors, cut. I'm sure it's not that dramatic, but like nobody's gonna take away the license, but I'm just not gonna get a chance to renew it. And so instead of waiting till the day to give that up, I chose to consciously just let it go. And that was when I moved to San Francisco, and so I didn't need to drive anyway. And so I think that's part of my approach, is to how can you have more control over your life? You see what the future holds, and then you make choices in advance, and it's easier emotionally because you're in control over it. And so you have some time to think about it and you process it, right? And so we need time to process stuff, right? So like the difference between sheltering in place, right? In the beginning of this thing, it was like, we don't know. And then it was decided May 3rd was our new date. And so that gave us basically 6 weeks of sheltering in place until the beginning of May. Yeah, the beginning of May anyway. So if at the beginning of this, because this is a new experience, right? We haven't had a global pandemic as far as I know. I know there's been outbreaks and stuff like that, but this situation is new to all the people that are alive right now, right? But like in the beginning, if the government was like, hey, we're done for the next 6 months, then we would definitely feel a lot different about that, because it's too long of a time period with too much uncertainty. So humans work best, right, from my observations, and I'm sure yours, where we incrementally make changes over time. So the government's like, hey, couple weeks, hey, 6 weeks, right? And then now another month. And so it's better for us to actually just to continue to tag on a little bit more time than for the government to be like, okay, we're just going to put a cap on the next 6 months, right? sheltering in place for 6 months, because that wouldn't work for the human brain, because that would be too much to process at one short period of time, right? And so I think that's an interesting way to think about it, is just like plugging away at things slowly but surely, because we need time. We need like separation from the thing that we're doing, distance, separation, and to actually think about what we're doing. And that's why it's so good right now that Mother Nature has given us a timeout culturally to think about how we can do better as a culture, right? How can we do this crazy madness of being super busy? Like, how can we improve on that? Because what was crazy. And I think we can take this time to think about how we can do better. So how can we make choices in our life to do better? So the theme for May is make it happen. And so what are you going to make happen? And I'm going to share my my interview by today's Dietitian magazine, and it's an honor that they wrote this article about me. I'm super humbled about it and excited. And we're going to read the article about me. And so I ride a bicycle in San Francisco, and I feel confident that I could do that. I would give it up if I had to. And I'm processing that now before I need to give it up. And I think I'm good still. And one day I'll film with a go, like I will film while I ride, and then I can describe what I see. I think that would be interesting to share. So what else? So read the article about me. I think you'll be, I don't know, maybe inspired or something like that. And let me know what you think. And it includes a little bit about my process, right? So I don't necessarily, dieting is a short-term solution to a long-term challenge. And so I talk about my approach to dieting, and it's all about behavior change, little baby steps at a time. Plug away, keep plugging away. What are your challenges? Keep plugging away. How can you do a little better in your life? Yeah. So that's it for me tonight. So today is the 28th day of April, and let's see, we have 5 more days left to the 33-day Self-Care is Our Best Defense Challenge. And I'm going to have to come up with a new title for the next period of time from May 4th until the end of May, to keep it spicy. I wish I had some music. I got to figure out if I could play music, like if it's illegal. Like copyrighted. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to do a little cooking thing after work. I'll figure out what I'm going to do. I don't want to say what I'm going to do because I'd like to just like commit to what I say. So I don't want to say what I'm going to do just in case I change my mind. I might make one of my videos that I might make this week, or I will make factually, I promise, is making a mug brownie in a microwave. So I'll actually show you maybe 2 versions, but I'm going to probably do them on 2 different days because I'm going to have to eat them. And I refuse to eat 2 mug brownies in a night. That's just wrong. And I need to like spread out my provisions here, ration out my provisions. And it's not about scarcity mindset. We're not going to run out of food. I know some like food factories are having some issues. But, if we do things right and we stock up on the right foods, the healthy foods, fresh foods. I have a patient that I talked to earlier this week. She's gone to a farmer's market, and each week this farmer's market at Fort Mason Center, they keep improving the safety measures. So there's more space between the stands, and there's a hand washing station, and people, what she said was people are being good and being responsible and staying at least 6 feet away from each other, which is awesome. And then there's delivery companies, and then some local. I have a local market in my neighborhood that sells, produce, and it's just a small grocery store, and they're delivering locally to the neighborhood, like just like 2 zip codes in the neighborhood, I think. And so they're delivering for free, which is super cool. Because it's one of those stores where, like, I haven't been in the store yet, but maybe they would just allow 1 or 2 people in at a time, So like small grocery stores are doing cool things like delivery. Or you could call in some of these small stores and ask them to put together a bag for you, and then you go drive by and then you pick it up, so you don't have to spend a lot of time in the store. So strategize, stock up on like canned, low sodium canned beans, there's canned lentils that you can get. There's dried lentils, dried beans. You can order beans online from different places. There's some fantastic seafood companies that preserve seafood, like Safe Catch is an awesome company. Safe Catch is local in Sausalito here in California, and what's cool about them is they actually test the tuna for the mercury level, and they don't use the high mercury tuna, and they have the lowest mercury or lowest tuna with the lowest mercury. Yes, brain works. High five, brain. And Safe Catch has sardines and salmon and tuna. I don't know what else they have. But you can get sustainable seafood that's preserved already. You can get some interesting foods like delivered to your house, right? And I'm not even talking about like from Amazon. I'm talking about like from smaller companies just delivered to your house. And there might not be shipping. And so like now's our time to support the small businesses that provide food. Get some fresh vegetables, stock up on the frozen vegetables. And one of my other patients this week, so you could get fresh bananas, right? And then you get too many bananas. I'm not telling you to hoard or anything, but you can get too many bananas. I don't know, get 10 bananas, right? And then before they get too ripe, unpeel them or peel them, and then freeze them. Put them in a storage freezer bag, right? Like one banana, not touching the other banana, not touching the other banana, not touching the other banana. And then fold that up, roll it up so that they're not touching, or freeze it flat. And then after they're frozen, just roll them up. And then you have banana that's frozen. And then I think a lot of you like smoothies. And so you have banana, which is also ice cubes. And surely if you wanted to, you can cut up the banana so it's not like the solid mass, because it's hard to manage something that's a solid mass. Okay, so that's a little bit about meal planning in general, and while sheltering in place. So this thing is not going to drive us crazy. We're going to take care of us the best we can, right? And seize all the opportunities and benefits at this moment, right? So May 2020, right? This is all about opportunities and benefits. What can you do? Use those exercise apps. Go for a walk before work. Use that commute time, the commute time that you no longer have, as the time to exercise or go for a walk or read a book or whatever before you actually start work. I'm working on all those things as well. So cool. So let's just village up, people. Village up. And I'll see you tomorrow. Day 29 is tomorrow of April. So don't be a fool the rest of April. You got a couple more days to not be foolish. Don't be foolish. Okay. This is Alicia signing out. And don't forget to read the article by today's dietitian. That's going to be in the description. And subscribe and share the awesomeness. Right? Subscribe and share. You tell me who... I have a question. This is important. So Inspector Gadget, right? The bad guy. I want to know the name of the bad guy in Inspector Gadget. I want you to tell me in the comments the name of the guy in the bad guy, the dark side guy in Inspector Gadget, because he says, "I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time." And we only get to see his arm, and it's like metal. Okay, that's it from me. Bye. Quick and delish. Every day. Bye.